and welcome to Just Come Over podcast. I'm Mel, and I can remember a lot of my dreams.
Oh, that's fancy. Hey, I'm Emily. Welcome. I have an affinity for patterned jackets.
That's true.
Can confirm. Hello, I'm 80, and I have a Boy Meets World tattoo.
What?
Wait, how did I not know that?
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it's a text tattoo on my back that says, believe in yourselves, dream, try, do good.
Oh, Mr. Feeney?
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, so in the last episode of Boy Meets World, it's Mr. Feeney's last advice to the crew of kiddos.
I've never watched Boy Meets World.
Well, 80 would argue that it has the better of the savages.
It does.
We're gonna just ignore that.
Although Fred Savage, I saw he was recently involved in a Netflix TV show. It's called like Dash and Lily or something. It's like a holiday little cutesy rom-com thing.
Netflix is like dashing out so many,
Yeah,
like
holiday
just content.
So much content. Well, to be fair, I was having a conversation with one of my roommates the other day about this, and I think that they had content that they were sitting on, as I guess studios do. And then they were like, oh crap, it's COVID times. Nobody can go anywhere.
Good thing we have this
Content vomit.
Yeah, good thing we have this stockpile of content going on.
Yes.
Oh, you're home? Oh, you can't go out and be with your friends or live your life? Come into the warming glow of the screen.
Do you want to Netflix and chill by yourself?
That chill is the Arctic chill of being lonely.
That's the cold shivers running down your spine without somebody else's body heat.
Oh,
That's so sad.
Anyway.
Yeah, we all just reflected on that real hard. Too hard?
We did.
That was a long pause.
That was a impregnated pause. No.
I almost used that word, and then it was like
none of
too
us are
spooky.
pregnant. Praise, baby.
It's like saying Mufasa, impregnated.
Say it again. Please don't. God, no. No, thank you. You know what? To each their own. If you want that, congratulations and kudos to you. I personally think that could be the worst thing ever.
Giving birth?
Having children.
Oh.
I don't want that. No, thank you.
You know, I totally am down with that because I think, freedom is all about choice, and a lot of people don't even get to make a choice because of your anatomy. You know, your body just doesn't do what you want it to do sometimes, and also the circumstance of your relationship. Sometimes that's just not biologically in the cards for you in certain ways. So, you know, it's a gift, it's precious, it's a decision, you know, hopefully folks don't make lightly. It changes your life. And, our friends who recently had a kiddo said it's the best and worst thing that's ever happened to them.
Yeah.
I feel like that happens for a lot of people.
Oh,
The best
totally.
and worst thing.
Totally.
It can't really be that. You could be only so prepared for parenthood.
Absolutely. Like, it took my mom 3 tries to get this perfection. Right.
Third time's the charm for the perfection.
That's why she stopped at 3.
herself.
Yeah, no, naturally. No. That's why she stopped at 3. She's like, I broke the mold.
I got it.
I got the best one. Done. Yes.
So you have 2 older siblings?
I do. I have an older sister and an older brother, and then I am the last of the 3. I also have an older half-sister who we share a biological father.
Oh, cool. I just have an older half-sister.
Yeah, and that's where you get your niece and nephew, right?
Yeah. They're pretty cool. Played board games with them.
Oh.
Starting them young.
Yeah.
Get hooked.
Yes.
Yeah. We played Ice Cool, which is what we talked about in the first episode.
Oh,
They
so good.
loved it.
Flicking them pengies.
Yeah.
It was so funny watching them play because they're just like bouncing all around, just trying to like figure out how to get it. And yeah, and then we played Wits and Wagers.
Yes.
With them, and they were it's like the adult Wits and Wagers where it's like, as of 2017, how many women have won the Nobel Peace Prize? And you're like, and these like
None.
this like 11 and 12-year-old are like, what's the Nobel Peace Prize?
Like, what are this?
Yeah.
A learning experience. There ain't no freaking shoots and ladders and
Yeah.
Monopoly with Aunt Mel around.
Nope.
Thankfully.
That's the thing about like Candyland. Candyland will always have like this end goal of like where you're going to end up. It just depends on who goes first because you're shuffling the deck. You have it's the heart of the cards for Candyland. Like you can't really control it. It's just a luck based game. And I was like,
did you say it's the heart of the cards? Is that a Yu-Gi-Oh thing?
It is. Emily's like, I don't even know.
I don't know
Yu-Gi-Oh?
that. I don't know that.
I only know this from dating nerds. I mean, I'm a nerd, but I'm a very specific nerd.
Same.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm probably the nerdiest.
You're a multi-dimensional nerd. You've got a finger in all the pots of the nerds.
Wow.
Yeah,
every nerd pot.
Just about. I didn't get too much into card like Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon or like Magic the Gathering. I tried it. I went in and they immediately like with one of my friends' deck, and they like immediately killed me off. I'm like, what the fuck? How can I even see if I like the game if you guys are gonna kill me within like 4 turns?
That's rude.
Hey, take advantage of the noob.
Yeah, they were all dicks anyways.
That's fair.
Shout out to Kevin.
Womp womp.
Well, I think it's funny because so you have enough information in the background, like you made a reference, even though you're not into Yu-Gi-Oh cards and whatnot. And I feel like that's what happens when you're kind of steeped in nerd culture. You're around nerds. You get a little bit of information from every little part. I actually had a very long conversation with somebody recently at a game store about Warhammer 40K, and I don't fucking play Warhammer, but I can have a conversation.
It's an investment.
Oh my god! And also, like, people who know the rules are like freaking litigators.
Yeah.
Which is how I feel about Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
And it's like, you gotta know your shit.
Yeah,
and no
exactly. I always feel like there's something so interesting about like Warhammer 40K too. I always just see the miniatures and I'm like, they're so cool. And then I try to paint miniatures and I'm like, I'm not if you know me, I am not an artistic person. I'm
not in that way.
Very good with stick figures.
Well, that's my forte. I'm like the Matisse of stick figures.
Yeah, and that's always been like, for some reason, like I can draw hands like comfortably where I'll like doodle like my hand of a thumbs up and I can like be a little proud of it. But literally anything else, I can't art. I just leave that to other people.
Well, I think that's kind of a maybe bigger conversation about art being like a physically, or not physically, but visually representative medium. It's like you do photography.
Yeah.
That's artistic.
Visual. Exactly. And you actually you manifest a lot of artistic things. You're a creative person. And like Emily, you write. So that's not necessarily like maybe drawing pictures, but that's artistic.
Yeah, you're good at world building, like in your brain to like write things and poems.
Oh,
and stuff
I
like
was
that.
like, well, the what now?
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't have that capability. I am a improv 100%. I can't predetermine a storyline very well.
I mean, neither can J.R.R. Martin. But...
It's true. Don't know what to do with him. Let's just fucking kill him off.
Awkward. That I attribute that to my many years of theater.
Oh
yeah, that's right.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Relearning things about you. Theater. So you were a theater kid.
I was absolutely I was a band and theater kid.
Oh,
What'd you play in band?
The flute.
I could see you playing the flute.
Yeah. I wanted to play the saxophone, and I was one of those kids that was fortunate enough to have braces in middle school. So you have that awkwardness already. You're going through your growth spurts. You got the acne, and then bam, let's whack on some braces there too.
Yep.
It's the perfect situation for the blues. That's why you needed the saxophone.
Well, but then my mom was like, no, you can't do that because the reed is gonna mess up your teeth, and we're spending way too much money on this, so you can stick with the flute. Now, granted,
saxophone.
for any of you lucky enough to be born with perfect teeth, you don't know the horrors of when you get your braces changed and those wires are sticking out and you go through a little pack of wax a week so that you're not piercing your gum or your lip.
Well, I was in wrestling in high school, and I did wrestling with braces. So I would get bloody. I would just constantly bleeding. And, like, we would have to wear mouth guards when we would be in competitions. But there was, like, a few times when I was in, like, state and I forgot my mouth guard. And so the entire time I just didn't open my mouth. So I looked really pissed off because I couldn't smile or anything. So they couldn't see that I had braces on.
Oof.
Ooh, would they have gone after them? Is that why? Or
I wouldn't have been able to wrestle.
oh,
Because I didn't have a mouth guard.
Yeah.
Because I would bleed all over the place.
Yeah.
So.
Did you ever have the rubber bands where you had to like hook onto the little hooks that they would?
I was supposed to. I was one of those I was kind of an asshole kid.
who wasn't? Kids are jerks.
Right.
Refused to use rubber bands and refused, like, I would try the mouth guard, but I would wake up with my mouth guard across the room at the end of the night. Like, in my sleep, I would remove it off and throw it across the room.
Damn.
I was just like not taking care of it, and so my parents finally was like, all right, well, you're not doing what you're supposed to do, and we're just spending money, so we're just gonna remove them. And in my brain I was like, I won. Like, I didn't want braces in the first place, and I won. Like, but yeah, I actually had braces twice. I got them when I was like 13 for 2 years, and then got them off, and then got them back on when I was, I think, 15.
Dang. I had them once, and apart from when you got them changed and it hurt, like no other pain you would know at that point in your life, as like anywhere between, 10 to 14, I loved them. But I'm weird.
Yeah, you are.
I
You
love going
love
to the
the
dentist.
dentist.
Yeah.
I still have my retainer from when I got my braces off when I was 14.
Did you ever have spacers?
Oh my god, yes. And they sucked.
Yeah, it was
And-
like this
it
metal
hurt.
bar across the top of your mouth that was pretty much cemented into it, and there would be a key.
Yes.
What
And
the?
they would put the key. It's like a torture device.
It's to widen your
to
jaw.
widen your jaw.
Oh, it
and so
sucked.
you would screw the key and would physically like move your jaw and like
No.
make it larger. And I had that on for years, but there was like a tiny little space where food always got fucking in there.
Oh, of course.
And I hated it because I would always go like to try and like projectile the food out from the top of my roof.
Well,
But
and then you've got, like, if you ever had the chains, like, not the individual
I just
rubber
thought of
bands.
like gold chains like hanging from my teeth. Sorry.
Emily had the most fat grill.
I
Grill for days.
was...
I mean, it fits. Emily has this deeds for it.
I do. No, those, the chained
Yeah,
things.
the link.
You had to make sure that you brought your little fucking, like a pipe cleaner thing
Yeah.
to school, because during lunch, inevitably you would eat something soft and it would get, like, stuck in there and you have to go deet, deet, deet.
Yep.
Wow, I have teeth trauma, but I did not have that tooth trauma. I don't know, which is weird because like both of my biological parents have pretty fucked up teeth actually. But these babies are pretty straight.
Well, like you said, you broke the mold.
What's
That's
your
true.
teeth
That's true.
thing that you had?
I grind teeth.
Oh,
So I
Do you
grind
have
in
a
my sleep.
mouth guard?
Yeah, so I sleep with a mouth guard now, and then I also have had I have 2 crowns. Not proud of that. Not proud.
Oh.
My friend Kim grinds her teeth.
Hi, Kim.
Hi, Kim. And she's
What's
supposed
that?
to have guards. I think she started wearing them again.
I didn't really. So I knew I grinded.
Grinded.
Grinder. Okay, yeah. I knew that. I kind of found out when I was married. My ex told me that it's like you kind of grind your teeth, and I was like, oh, weird, and thought of it as like a kind of Marge Simpson type of thing. And it's like, But then a couple of other folks that I was with after my divorce would mention that too, and that's when I kind of took it seriously. I was like, well, oh shit. I had a significant other. I was like, you kind of snore very lightly. It's kind of cute when you sleep. And then she was like, well, you grind your teeth.
Wow. Damn bitch.
She's like, you sound like this.
Like, I was telling you something endearing, and here you are calling me a fucking monster.
I said you were cute. No, yeah.
Right?
But it did prompt me to go to night guard.
That's fair.
Yeah. So, wow, teeth drama. That's not something you expect. I don't know. Everyone's got their shit, right?
True.
I had some good dinner tonight. Speaking of chewing
Yeah.
teeth.
Things you do with your teeth.
Listen.
Oh, yeah. Y'all sent pictures. They look. Tell me about these pictures.
All right. For those of you that don't know, I moved from the East Coast, more specifically Northern Virginia. For those of you that don't know, I may or may not have a healthy obsession with the Foo Fighters. For those of you that don't know, Mr. Dave Grohl is from Springfield, Virginia.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I was in Fairfax, so mere miles away from each other.
So you're related.
She does not want to be in that way related.
No. I don't find him. I mean, Dave, baby, I love you, but like not in that way. No, I really want to be like friends with him.
Oh.
He just seems like the dopest human ever. But so we're broadcasting from the Valley in Los Angeles, and there is this restaurant called Casa Vegas on Ventura.
Shout out.
Yeah, this is not an ad, by the way. This is just me being a fangirl.
Casa Vegas was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's where they got margaritas, by the way, in case you guys are wondering.
Oh, damn.
If those have seen Once Upon a Time in
Is that
Hollywood.
where
he drives in
and they say the line when they're waiting for the car, "Don't cry in front of the Mexicans," which just reminded me of my childhood.
Yeah. That they filmed it.
Don't cry in front of the
right there.
Damn, I didn't know that.
For Mexican kids.
Well, so there started yesterday. The Foo Fighters have teamed up with Casa Vegas to do this like tacos or taco combo plate and a drink. And like already I was hooked because I saw the little trailer that the Foo Fighters put out on their Instagram, and I was like, oh my God, I need anything to do with Dave Grohl, because this man does wonderful things. Like he cares about teachers. He does like all this stuff. Foo Fighters are like great, but
Oh wait, that's something you have in common because both of your mothers are teachers.
Yes, both of our mothers are teachers. So I was like, and like both his mother and his mother did, and my mother currently works for Fairfax County Public Schools. So like, Dave, let's be friends. But
talk about this combo now.
right. But on top of all of that, they are giving a portion of the proceeds to Us Without You, which is helping undocumented back of house workers have pandemic assistance during this like bullshit time. So I was like, oh my God, triple threat. All right, we got tacos, we've got Dave Grohl, and we got giving back to like people who are busting their butt and like are not having a good time. Sold. So like Mel said, it was absolutely delicious. I highly recommend. Again, this is not an ad. I don't know if they're going to still be going by the time this airs, but shout out to Casa Vegas and the Foo Fighters and No Us Without You, because like thank you for being dope humans.
Right? Yeah. It sounds like go there anyway.
Well, yeah, go there anyway.
Go there to support people that do this type of thing, even if it's over, if they're not doing this right now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Foo Fighters live?
Yes, I saw them for the anniversary tour, July 4th, when they were at RFK Stadium in Washington, D.C., and Dave had just broken his leg on the European leg of the tour, so he came out in this... He came out, they made this, like, Game of Thrones style throne.
Oh my God.
But instead of swords, it was guitars. Oh my God, it was so great. But he compilated...
It's called the Iron Throne.
What? I don't... Listen, I don't watch it. Sorry, not sorry. But he had compiled a whole bunch of artists from all of the different like genres that they featured on Sonic Highways. Mm-hmm. So they had like Red, Green, Gold and Buddy Guy, and like LL Cool J was there, which was really weird. Just like a whole bunch of stuff, and then it culminated with the Foo Fighters doing a show, and it was just like an all-day festival at RFK Stadium, and it was like the dopest thing ever. And I took my mom with me, and I was just like in awe of how awesome they are live.
Yeah.
Mama Caligari.
Have you seen them?
I have not seen the Foo Fighters live.
I've seen them once. I went to the Grammys one year, and
LA kid is
went to the Grammys one year, and it was like this semi-outside venue where they would host like their musical concerts, and it was in like this huge tent, and on one side was Deadmau5, and on the other side is Foo Fighters. And so you're surrounded.
How do you pick?
And then they go on at the same time, and it was so cool because it was like you have Deadmau5 with his cube on one side, and then the Foo Fighters, and being able to like see them do like a mixed performance.
Battle of the
It was
Amps,
really, really
like Scott
cool.
Pilgrim.
It was very overwhelming too. Yeah, it's exactly what it looked like too. And they had like the filming and the musical performance and all that. It was really, really cool. But that was like the one and only time that I've seen Foo Fighters.
I would have passed the fuck out from fangirling for both sides. I'd have been like,
what is your life?
Yeah.
I almost followed it up with "Baby, Don't Hurt Me."
No.
Okay. We don't have royalties of that.
I know. That's what I was gonna.
Nope.
We're getting real bad at this.
But okay, like, that's interesting. So y'all had really amazing concert experiences. I know it might, like, you know, take a little moment. But what is your best concert experience? Or at least your fave concert experience. And I know Emily used to go to shows like every week, so that I think everyone else should go before Emily.
That's fair.
I will just say EDC 2011, I got up on stage with Steve Aoki during his set and started dancing while he sprays champagne everywhere. That's probably one of the coolest ones that I've been to. I mean, like, I've seen Steve Aoki quite a few times, but, like, I guess what happened was, like, the guardrails wasn't really working, and so it didn't completely surround the stage. So people just walked around the guardrails, and we were, like, right up front. And then Steve Aoki just, like, starts partying. I think he, like, grabbed a cake and threw it out into the crowd, and we were, like, in front.
That's awesome.
And then all of a sudden, people just started, like, getting up on stage, and I just went up, and there's a picture of me and my friend Blanco, like, on stage, like, looking down while, like, someone's taking a picture of us. That was pretty cool. And then I went to see Good Charlotte and Fall Out Boy in, like, a little back-to-back concert, and that was a lot of fun, too, because I was, like, also Lady Gaga. Nice. I would still say EDC. I go to more raves than concerts, so.
That is oh my gosh. Well, learning new things about people I love. That I'm just, like, losing my shit about
find
that.
picture.
Please do. Wow, fangirling over Mel right now. Which I think is, you know, pretty prevalent if you've ever seen her cosplay and just, like, a lot of the amazing things she does. Wow, I don't have anything quite as fantastical as that, where I was actually involved with the performance. I think my like, experiences, I still vlogging Molly quite a lot when I was younger, but I think, my, like, genuinely, like, soul-deep experiences probably, and oscillate between, mindless self-indulgence at Ford Theater, just because of it was the most energetic crowd I'd ever been a part of, but also was very nurturing. So it used to be a really big part of, like, mosh pit scene when I was younger, a lot of, like, punk shows.
Yeah.
But that was a show where it was, you know, sometimes I've been to shows, and it's really funny because I feel like I would go to metal shows and people would be really, like, sort of violent with the pit. And if you fell, it was like every man for themselves type thing. But with more of the punk shows, it was like if you fell, people would help you up. Yeah, and, like, I thought that was gorgeous. There was something about that community. So mindless self-indulgence, although it's very mixed genre. So I think the energy from the audience as well as the music, it was music I was really into at the time. So, like, singing along, like, knowing every lyric and singing along and feeling the energy in music, I think was a singular experience. But I oscillate between that and when I saw a band called The Veils. I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with those folks. I saw them in San Diego, and the lead singer is really, really renowned for, like, being, like, in the throes of passion during his during that, and he's really known for, like, banter and stuff like that, but he can play all the instruments, and he doesn't, like, there's a band, but while it was happening, like, he went and he like drummed a little bit with the drummer, and he was, like, really grooving out. The bassist is gorgeous, and her hips, like, I likened her to a Vela at the time because I was still into Harry Potter, so it was just, like, her rhythmic hips were, like, entrancing, so that might have played a part in it.
Small, little bit.
But the lead singer really acts like a man possessed, and I thought there was something, like, transcendental about that experience.
Nice. This is Mel found the photo.
This is from Good Charlotte.
Oh,
and I'm right there.
Oh, I can totally see Baby Mel. We have to. Can we link this in the show notes?
Yeah,
we
probably.
should.
Yeah, I think we need a link in the show notes to see
should.
Baby Mel. That is amazing. Although you do need to find the picture from Stevie Aoki.
From
Yeah,
Stevie Aoki, yeah.
I'm scrolling for that one.
Emily, myth. All right, so I think you should. Okay, so when I say you've gone to a lot, you went to concerts, like, every fucking week. I'm not exaggerating.
No, like, I love music. Oh God, like, I'm dying inside from not being able to have seen a live show. I think at all in 2020. I don't think I went to, because we were talking about going to, like, Tame Impala or something, and then the COVID just, oh man. So I have a very eclectic taste. I'll do top 5, even though, like, I can't.
All right, NPR.
I can't just pick But
you can't really see it.
In no particular... Oh, do we got it?
But that's on stage on Steve Aoki.
Oh, look at you.
Baby Mel with your raver candy.
Oh my gosh, look at those raver pants.
Yeah, I had the whole shebang.
Gosh. That's wild.
Yeah, that was the...
That's the era.
Let me see it.
You can absolutely tell that you're at a show because the audio is absolute crap.
Too bad, yeah. It was
that
EDC
bass,
2010. It was the last year when they people were jumping over the
fence.
The fence.
Yeah.
So it was somewhere else before Vegas. Where was it?
Los Angeles.
Oh, it was in
At the Coliseum.
Oh, damn. Okay, so yeah. In no particular order. And let me preface this with the Foo Fighters have already been named. That's why they're not on this list. But Dave, God bless you for putting on one fucking hell of a show, dude. Like, my mom appreciated it so much. Mama Caligari is like, oh, thank you. So, yeah, no particular order. Coldplay, they just are sonically and visually some of the best performers I've seen live. Very close, if not exactly the same, to what you hear on their studio album.
Cool.
Which I appreciate. MK, for you house fans, I met him, and I was fangirling so hard. I have a picture. I'll have to find that. I don't look great in it, but it's fine. Super fucking pumped about that because I had just moved back from Europe and had friends that would go to Hideout, which for people that don't know what it is, it's like this huge like festival that happens on some island in the Mediterranean that everybody goes to. And it's dope, but like I could never go because I never had that kind of money. So I met MK. Then like maybe a week later I saw Kate Trinata. Another huge, amazing, geeked out time for me. Then we've got James Blake. I actually met him. I don't have any pictures, but I met him and I saw him before he got big. Like he had just started in London. So we saw him in this like dingy, you paid £5 to get into it club and like saw him play. That was like the coolest thing ever. And my friend Georgie and I were obsessed with him. And I think we accidentally like, before we had met him, we touched him because he was like walking past us and like our hands brushed up against each other or whatever. We were like, oh my God, we're never going to wash our hands ever again.
COVID, wash your fucking hands.
Well, this was in 2010, so like pre-COVID times. So that's 4. My last one, Arcade Fire. Love Arcade Fire. When I worked for the company that Mel and I used to work, or Mel still does, but that company, we had box seats at the Verizon Center or whatever it's called now.
Yeah, you're into the company. It was
well, no, it wasn't. It wasn't
cool
from
parts.
the company. It was because the people that owned the building that we were in owned the box seats. So they would, anytime that there were stuff coming, like concerts or whatever coming, or Caps games, Wizards games, whatever, they would give tickets to their staff, and then they would always put some aside. And if we were interested and they had the tickets, we could have the tickets. So I got to see so many things. It was amazing. But like, I mean, okay, fine, 6. Elton John. I saw Elton John on his farewell tour. And Arcade Fire. And like, those were just, and they had the best buffets ever. Like mac and cheese for days. I love mac and cheese. But yeah, I guess, those would be if I had to pick right off the bat. But I've seen, like you said, I love seeing live music, and I'm dead inside right now about it. But
well, you also mentioned that there was a venue on the East Coast that allowed you to see a lot of folks like frequently. So.
Oh yeah, so the IMP, which Dave, baby friend, thank you also for all those. Listen, I'm just
own it. Manifest it.
Manifesting. Dave Grohl and I are friends. No, I believe if I am not mistaken, he or the Foo Fighters collectively own a portion of IMP, which is this like brand that has like a bunch of venues that range from like super small venues like Black Cat or U Street Dance Hall all the way up to places like Merriweather Post Pavilion or Jiffy Lube Live, or I can't remember what the other one that just opened up, but I saw Beck at. That's another person. I saw Beck. I should probably stop now. But yeah, like it was so easy to see people on the East Coast for cheap, like $20.
About that, yeah.
20, 30, 40 bucks. And like it wouldn't necessarily be like obscure unknowns or people that were just coming onto the scene. Like Gogo Bordello. We got to see I'm naming too many names, but every single like New Year's they would have a show in DC and we would always go.
Whoa.
And it would be like $55 and we're just like, hell yeah, we're gonna fucking mosh to some gypsy punk ska. Have a great old time. Yeah, that's my story.
Oh, now I'm sad.
I know.
In the before times.
Yeah.
In the before times.
80, what have you been up to?
Presently, oh wow. So I don't know. See, when you ask that question, it's sort of like my mind goes blank.
No, I know you have like a million things going on, but you were telling me this like really cool like walking step project.
Oh, actually, yeah, I need to make an announcement. So this is a funny time. So we, in the real world, right now, presently, we just dropped our trailer, so we haven't dropped like a full episode yet.
Yes.
But also presently, you know, in the world, it is December.
In a world where COVID exists, lives a woman ravages named 80.
Absolutely. But... Wow, that was sort of like a kitty purr.
Yeah.
And I'm down for it. A lot of folks have given us some feedback from our trailer, which I'm so thankful for.
Yes.
Like, I love that, and I love the honesty that we need to transition. I think it should be Emily's purr.
Oh my god.
Petition for Emily's purr.
Wow. Is it going to be called creme de miam?
Yeah.
Are you going to bring up that fucking word every episode?
Yep. Sure am.
Literally every single episode.
Please do.
Until we get something else stuck in our heads.
It needs to. We need to get stuck in the creme de
You know, I'm the one listening through this podcast, so I know you have a conversation about it, but I hear creme de meow meow like 2 times a day.
Good.
Minimum.
So you're welcome for enriching your life with the...
But are you listening to WAP while it's happening?
Ow.
No, I've been listening to New Orleans, like Disneyland jazz.
Oh.
That sounds like Mel.
So like Not Body by Megan Thee Stallion.
No, not Body. Yeah, I listen to slow jazz. But anyways, 80.
Yeah, so in that time, in December 2020, I am working with the AIDS Life Cycle, which used to be an IRL event where folks rode from San Francisco to LA to raise money for AIDS research and services for, it's the LA LGBT Center, but also it's the San Francisco AIDS Foundation. They do such amazing work. Oh my gosh. And they have like a global reach. But that's turned into a virtual event called Togetherride. And folks can join and set a mile goal as they choose and a fundraising goal. And the intention is trying to do basically 1.2 million miles by June 30th, and then also, you know, raise funds, whatever you can for, again, you know, AIDS and HIV services, testing, research, and it's really cute. Togetherride has the slogan of a grab life by the handlebars to end AIDS.
Aww,
that's cute.
Yeah, so it's a really good cause, and they're good folks. They've been in contact with me before, so I'm really excited about that. But it's, you know, a lot of work with my company, so just been busy with that.
How do I, if I want to participate? I have 2 questions. What do I do, and how do I get to it?
How do I go to there?
Right on. So you're going to go to togetherride.org. Mm-hmm. And then you register. The registration is $25. Mm-hmm. And then when you register, you set your mile goal and your fundraising goal. You download the Together app, and then you can either accumulate the miles like while you're doing stuff, or you can self-report. So it doesn't really matter. They're not like gonna hold you to anything crazy.
So it like tracks on your phone.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, there's an app for it.
Nice. It's kind of like a
there's
step
an app
bet.
for that. And then you just do stuff until June 30th, which is the deadline.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so it's a good little end to Pride.
And you said that it was like something where there were like families, like if you have like little ones or partners, you can add them to it as well.
Yeah, so I talked a lot about this off mic because I just like can't shut up about stuff. Especially,
it's cool.
I'm like, queer stuff, queer.
But it's awesome. Like, not only is it like doing something for the queer community or straight community and like getting rid of AIDS, but it's also like helping people be active still, and that's a huge thing for like mental health and like.
I just had a brilliant idea.
Tell us.
What we've been talking about, how we're going to be bringing people on every other episode or whenever we can with guests. But what I just realized is, like, maybe moving forward every, like, episode or every other episode, we kind of, like, research, like, a nonprofit that we want to talk about, like, near the end of it. And just to, like, give people, like, what it does, what you can do. Like, I like that concept where it's, your walking thing. So I think that would be a really cool idea to do that.
That's cool.
And, like, each person kind of chooses one.
Yeah, so we can be excited about it.
Totally.
I think that's, like, all right, so the world sucks in general. And then also you're going through a pandemic. And it's just, like, there's so much strife with just existing. But the thing that I've found, and, like, everybody does everything at their own pace, whatever you bog down with, I don't think your worth is, correlated to your production. So, like, whatever you need to do to get through the fucking day, do it. But the only thing that helps me is kind of, like, I can't control anyone's perception of me. I can't control the way of the world. I can't control how much we're in quarantine. But I can try to make, like, my little corner of the planet, like, more the way that I think is better. And that's specific to each person. But I want the world to be, like, kinder and more empathetic, and then support people. So, like, when I get involved with these things, like, it makes me feel a little bit of control over something.
Yeah, and I think that's, like, I think it would be, like, such an interesting thing, because, like, I think as, like, an outside perspective, it can seem really intimidating being, like, I want to help, I, like, do have, like, $1 to donate, or, like, I want to volunteer, something like that, but it's kind of hard to find the right grassroots or opportunity or something like that. So I think even having us do, like, a little bit of the research for you and just give you, like, a link, I think would be, like, a cool thing to be able to just listen about it for, like, 5 minutes during the podcast, and then help direct people, if walking isn't your thing and you would prefer to do, and, like, just forward it on your Instagram of, like, another nonprofit or information.
We can always link it on, like, our LinkedIn, or put it on
like
this
the link tree and stuff.
Not LinkedIn. Wow, we're not that professional.
I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, put it on the link tree. Put it like, on spotlight something.
Yeah, I dig that.
For sure. And I think that's, like, the whole concept is, like, we're friends and we have conversations. Something we do talk about pretty frequently, especially since the pandemic, is, like you mentioned, Emily was previously a part of an NPO and definitely has a mind to help communities, like, even not being a part of that anymore. Like, you still do a lot of things.
Yeah. And I think just finding, like, a comfortable way to do some sort of community outreach. I mean, like, this is the cool thing about, like, now even, like this is going to go in the podcast episode, but I think it's, like, such a cool idea. It's like, you're here while we're thinking about it, like, you guys are listening to us make these decisions that we, like, talk about and stuff like that. So.
I mean, in an ideal world, these things would all be obsolete by the time this airs, because, we will have solved all of the world's problems.
It's airing in, like, January, right?
I know. Listen,
or we could do it, like, once a month, so it's not.
But I'm saying, like, but ideally, these things are still going to be relevant no matter when we bring them up, and then when the thing actually airs. Yeah, I think it's just a good way for people to feel like, if they so choose, that they're helping their fellow human, or the little puppers. Aminals.
Lambs. Or environment, just kind of anything, which ultimately does affect us.
Yes.
But I think, what is that, like, quote by Audrey Hepburn? It's just like, you have two hands, one to help yourself and one to help other people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great sentence to end on.
We're done?
I know.
Wait, I haven't made any jokes this episode. Hold on.
Haven't you, though?
No.
Haven't you, though?
Haven't I?
You've been pretty funny.
Have I?
You're organically funny. Remember, you've even said you're not intentionally funny.
I'm not
that's
intentionally
funny.
Like,
you didn't even think that. Like, half the stuff that I've sent you're like, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
I'm like, I know.
But then I'm laughing at myself.
Been saying.
I know.
But thanks again so much for listening to Just Come Over podcast.
Yeah.
Please rate us 5 stars. That's so more people can find us and listen to us. And, we have all of our social media platforms. The important thing is, since you guys are here right now, if there's a nonprofit or something that you think would be helpful for us to go ahead and talk about on the upcoming episodes, or if you want to come on to the podcast, email us.
Drop us a DM.
JustComeOverPod@gmail.com.
Pod, like a pea pod at the end of it. JustComeOverPod.
Or drop us a DM on our Instagram, on our Facebook.
Hit up the DM.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll let you slide into the DMs.
Oh, it's getting R-rated.
Is it getting hot in here?
It's getting NC-17.
Shall we take off all our clothes?
Goodbye. Cue the music.